This is Amara Agogoisi saying, enjoy the rest of the day.
Yes.
Latest entrant, latest technology. Welcome to Intel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit intel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started. Intel. Live more.
The need to improve the quality and quantity of goods and services available for consumption in Nigeria is critical in increasing total wealth and improving our well-being.
The National Productivity Center has the mandate to impact productivity consciousness in all sectors of the Nigerian economy, as well as build skills and competences for the enhancement of national and international competitiveness.
Productivity is teamwork. Let us join hands together to make Nigeria a productive and prosperous nation.
National Productivity Center, promoting productivity in our nation.
Music is fuel that fires up our soul. Today, African music has a dominant place on the world map. This massive music movement creating waves across the globe.
I have seen the evolution and the growth of this industry.
But every movement starts with a story, and the best place to start any story is at the very beginning.
There's a phenomenal energy that can only have come from Africa.
Culture is the biggest asset no one can joke with. If you go to the airport now and you are checking in, they will tell you to remove your cap, remove your shoe, remove your jacket, but nobody ever asks to remove your culture. Culture is embedded.
It's embedded in
who you are. Culture is the only instrument that can speak for you even when you're not there.
I am Elizabeth Abai. I am here to talk about facts. There is so much misinformation and distortion out there, especially on the social media. All it takes is just a click and the fake news goes viral. However, here in NTA, we deal with facts.
My job is to go out there and comb for factual news and information, just the way it is, all in the interest of the nation. I'm Naja'atu Tijani.
Here the NCA will present only the facts, verified. Beware of fake news, don't be a victim. Stay tuned to the NCA.
Especially at this time of the coronavirus.
Hello, it's a pleasant evening out here in the nation's capital, and it is nice to be with you on this edition of News Extra, the program that gives you the news with an extra touch to the stories. Tonight, it is no different as we begin with the Federal Executive Council, which has given a new lease of life to the Chochi irrigation project in Yola, Adamawa State. Yes, FEC gave approval for the resuscitation of the project. In politics, the All Progressives Congress APC has officially unveiled the party's vice presidential candidate, just as INEC presents certificate of return to PDP Senator Adeleke, who won the recently held Osun governorship election. The conversation on the rebranding of the NNPC is still fresh, and we have quite an interesting perspective to it. Also tonight, the Red Chambers made a progressive move on the Electricity Bill 2022. At a time, the Green Chambers also set out to unravel grey areas around petroleum subsidy. We have quite a bit on education, and from the federal government's pronouncement on the lingering ASUU strike to the planned protest by the NLC. It is a bumper harvest of reports on infrastructural development. For instance, if you're curious to know the progress of work of the second Niger bridge as well as the Barrow Inland Port, we have them. The Nigerian Constitution is a very important document of guide as it relates to the conduct of the nation's affairs. We shall find out how knowledgeable are Nigerians about it. If you're a motorist, then our package on the dangers of expired car tires is one you must not miss. I tell you, it's life-saving. On health comes distinguishing the myth from the facts on whether a person's genotype has any link with susceptibility to malaria. That's just a sneak preview of what is coming your way. If you sit tight all the way, you would get the full package and won't have to be told. After all, the taste of the pudding is in the eating, and I am Fatima Morbuba. This is News Extra. I welcome you. Don't forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nt.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. Let's begin with the Federal Executive Council, which has approved 6 billion naira for the resuscitation of Chuchi irrigation project in Yola, Adamawa State. Water Resources Minister Suleiman Adamu announced this while briefing journalists after the meeting of the council presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports that the council also approved the signing of a bilateral air services agreement between Nigeria and Canada.
Meeting for the first time after the Eid al-Kabir Salah festivities, the Federal Executive Council considered and approved several memoranda from ministries, departments and agencies in furtherance of efforts at enhancing national growth and development, one of which is the resuscitation of Chochi irrigation project in Yola, Adamawa State, started in 1998 by the defunct Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF. The project, which suffered setbacks since then, is designed to provide 1,200 hectares of irrigable land towards boosting farming activities.
Now we are poised to complete it, and one of the key issues is that the project is based on pumping. At the time it was awarded, diesel was very cheap, but now diesel is so expensive, so we are providing a solar component to provide energy for the pumps to irrigate the land. And this is one of the reasons, in addition to variation of prices, foreign exchange fluctuations, that calls for a review of this project, seeking for an augmentation of 6 billion and an extension of time to complete the project.
Meanwhile, in accordance with the Chicago Convention, the Council approved the signing of bilateral air services agreement between Nigeria and Canada for mutual benefits.
And the highlights of the bilateral air service agreement, otherwise known as BASA, involve the grants of rights and privileges, as well as, of course, the designation of airline authorization, withholding, revocation, suspension, and limitation of authorization, application of national laws and regulations, safety standards, certificates and licenses, sales and transfer of funds, taxation,
Also approved is the award of contract for the design, supply, and maintenance of mobile surveillance observation systems for Port Harcourt and Kaduna airports at 1.49 billion naira. The minister also used the opportunity to give an update on Nigeria's national carrier, Nigeria Air.
There is the ATL in place, which is the air transport license in the favor of the company. And we've gone through almost all the stages of acquiring an AOC. We're at the last stage now to demonstrate the flights. We've taken time to do it so that once and for all, we're able to deliver an airline that would answer all the questions that need to be answered to get a very efficient, robust airline for the size of the market of Nigeria of 200 million people, and also the geography of Nigeria being at the center of Africa and equidistant from all locations. Please be patient. Very soon, the www.nigeriaair.world would soon be flying.
In the meantime, the aviation minister confirmed that his ministry is closely and critically looking at the operations of the various airlines in the country, occasioned by delays and other operational lapses, with a view to finding lasting solutions towards maintaining effective and efficient air transport services in the country. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
States and local governments in the country have been urged to take the path of honor by judiciously utilizing their share of the ecological fund strictly in addressing the ecological challenges in their areas. President Muhammadu Buhari made the persuasion at the launch of a compendium of ecological projects executed by the federal government between 2015 to 2022. State House correspondent Adam Sambo again has that.
The 554-page publication packaged by the Ecological Project Office under the watch of the Secretary to the Governor of the Federation, the compendium contains verifiable data on President Buhari's special intervention to ecological problems across Nigeria. During the period under review, 2015 to 2022, 332 ecological projects have been approved by the President, out of which 266 have been completed, while the remaining 66 are at different stages of completion.
The compendium is aimed at keeping the public abreast of the concerted efforts of the present administration in addressing verified ecological problems in all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria through the judicious utilization of the federal government share of the ecological fund.
President Muhammadu Buhari expressed the conviction that despite the enormity of Nigeria's ecological problems as well as the inherited deficit in infrastructure, the compendium will go a long way in correcting the negative public perception that government has not done anything in addressing such challenges.
The documentation and publication of these achievements in our modest effort to tackle ecological problems is therefore predicated on our quest to improve communication and governance as a tool for keeping citizens well informed and helping them to hold the government accountable. Hopefully, the compendium will bridge the part of the information and communication gap between Nigerians and the real-time performance of this administration by portraying the specific locations of ecological projects with pictorial evidence as well as proofs of handing over the projects to the beneficiaries.
The President commended the Secretary to the Governor of the Federation and the management team of the Ecological Project Office for judiciously utilizing available resources for the effective implementation of approved ecological projects across the country.
In order to leverage the benefits accruable to government from the commendable efforts of the Ecological Project Office and the effective communication of these efforts through this kind of publication, I encourage all ministries, departments, and agencies which have not done so to showcase their performance and achievements to the public.
Records show that under the modified sharing formula of the Ecology and Derivation Fund, the federal government has 1%, 0.72% to state governments, and 0.60% for local governments. And out of the 1% share of the federal government, only 55% is available for the execution of ecological projects, as the remaining 44% is given on monthly basis to NEMA, Great Green Wall Agency, Northeast Development Commission, and NALDA. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Into politics now. Former Governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, has been formally presented and accepted as the Vice Presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress. The party's presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while presenting Shettima alongside the party's national chairman, assured Nigerians that the primary mandate of the team is to explore the nation's diversity as strength for prosperity and promote unity. Political correspondent Saliu Gwana reports.
After the June 8, 2022 APC presidential primary that produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the party's presidential candidate, the much anticipated presentation and endorsement of Kanuri-born Kashim Shettima was next in APC's bid to retain its tenancy at the ASUU Rock presidential villa. It was a unanimous submission by stakeholders here that difficult moments required strong people, hence the Tinubu and Shettima candidature in order to bring succor and sustain the gains of the APC-led government beyond 2023.
To our great party, the unity of purpose, the togetherness for success is what we believe in and is what we do. We are to use our diversity for prosperity and not an instrument of division.
We are no doubt that ASUU has found an every competent, patriotic, compassionate, who will support him. Kashim Shettima is going to offer honest, sincere, independently verifiable advice that will put the betterment of our country.
The national chairman of APC, Abdullahi Adamu, says the team represents the wishes of the more than its 40 million members.
ASUU Bola Tinubu is a man who has also thrown his arm around every tribe in Nigeria. He has offered his shoulders for those in pain to lean on.
The vice presidential candidate gave assurances that he will be a leader for Nigerians not ruled by sectionalism.
I don't intend to be the vice president. To represent members of the Islamic faith. No. The Sultan of Sokoto is capable of being that.
With the official unveiling of the vice presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, and as the party gets set for campaigns ahead of the 2023 election, the unanimous decision here is that Nigerians should see the team as one that will not discriminate against any religion or tribe. From the Yaradua Center in Abuja, Saliu Gwana, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has formally granted audience to the vice presidential candidate of the governing APC and former governor of Borno State, Senator Kashim Shettima. The president, who listened attentively to a flowery speech by his guest, struck a chord of humor by saying, and I quote, "I will formally respond to your remarks when handing over to you and your boss, God willing," end of quote. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari received the APC vice presidential candidate shortly after being unveiled by the leadership of the party and presidential candidate ASUU Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The president expressed delight with the choice of the former Borno State governor as vice presidential candidate, expressing strong optimism that the APC ticket will emerge victorious in 2023. He applauded Senator Kashim Shettima for his consistency in the party, finishing well as governor for 2 terms, keeping touch with his base and maintaining support to his successor in office. The vice presidential candidate thanked President Buhari for his empathy, support and positive role, leading to his emergence as running mate to the APC presidential candidate ASUU Bola Tinubu.
We owe him a debt of gratitude. He deserves to be celebrated, and we are here to celebrate him and essentially to thank him most sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. And he has given us his word that he will campaign vigorously for the ticket for us to cruise home to victory.
Senator Shettima promised that his vice presidency will not be for the troika of Hausa, Fulani and Kanuri, but for all Nigeria, irrespective of ethnicity, religion or geographical place of origin.
We are not coming into government to represent the Muslim or the Christian faith. We are the Nigerian dream team that will catapult the country to a higher pedestal. We are the Nigerian dream team that will redefine the meaning and concept of modern governance. We are the Nigerian dream team that will continue from where the president is going to stop and take us further.
So they have nothing to fear?
There is no cause for alarm. We are one people with a common destiny. What is important is the Nigeria project.
His integrity and personality are never in doubt. He has one very important character that is not known to many. He's a true Nigerian. He loves Nigeria, and then he has the intention to unite the entire nation. That is one of his character. He doesn't want to discriminate anybody because of his religion or because of his ethnicity. So I think at the end of the exercise, Nigerians will be happy to have somebody like him. Because when he was leaving office, he entrusted the body of Khan to my humble self that I should treat them very well. And I hope he will replicate what he did at the state level, at the federal level.
Apart from Governor Zulum, the vice presidential candidate of the APC was also accompanied on the visit by the Minister of State for Agriculture, Mustapha Baba Shehui. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Still on politics, Osun State Governor-elect Ademola Adeleke and Deputy Governor-elect Kola Adeosi have received the certificate of return at the INEC State Headquarters, Osogbo, Osun State. INEC Supervising National Commissioner in charge of Osun, Oyo and Ondo, Professor Kunle Ajayi, presented the certificate of return. Wasiu Rauf reports.
The governorship election has come and gone, but the certificate of return confirms that Ademola Adeleke and his running mates have been duly elected as the next governor of Osun State. The joyous occasion afforded the governor-elect Ademola Adeleke the opportunity to appreciate the people of Osun State and God Almighty for his victory at the polls. Adeleke also reaffirmed unflinching commitment to his campaign promises.
This victory would not have been possible but for the goodwill of the patriotic men, young and old. I am overwhelmed by your love and support, and I do not take this trust you have bestowed on me for granted.
INEC National Officer in charge of Osun, Oyo and Ondo assured Nigerians that the commission will now rest on its oars in sustaining the temple of success recorded during the off-season elections as the general elections hold in 2023.
I would like to thank every stakeholder that contributed towards the successful conduct of this election, from the National Peace Committee to our developmental partners.
With the presentation of certificate of return to the governor-elect, the transition committee is expected to be set up for a smooth handover to the new administration on November 27th in Osogbo. Wasiu Rauf, NTA News.
Ekiti governorship election was good. Osun was better. 2023 will be the best. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu gave the assurance while receiving a delegation on 2023 pre-election assessment visit to INEC in Abuja. Mayor Ogidi has it.
Professor Mahmoud's first public appearance after the ASUU election. Smiling is the signature. Today's smile is broader, and the success recorded in the ASUU poll likely responsible. And from the visitors, the International Republican Institute and the National Democratic Institute to INEC, ASUU poll was better.
I think we should start by recognizing the continuous improvement that INEC has made to deliver safe elections for the people.
And thank you very much for all the kind words you said about Osun. We're encouraged.
How to scale up this victory at the national level in 2023 is the primary assignment of the team. Making the process the best is INEC's target, but a request from the visiting team.
But I'm waiting for a day when INEC will instantly issue cards. I come to the station, I register, and then my card is instantly given to me. The second issue I have is that you have your poll workers not getting time to cast their ballots. The security also don't have time to cast their ballots. And I don't know, personally, I believe it's a denial of their constitutional rights.
We're working to prepare for the presidential election in 2023 in February.
It was a good election. Osun was a better election. We are promising that the 2023 general election will be our best election ever.
A medal for great achievers, especially in the U.S. military, presented to the INEC boss by the Secretary of State, Maryland, USA, Frank Naros. And from the host to the visitor, INEC's best souvenir to keep this day alive. Until 2023 polls, nice visiting Nigeria, the delegation told their host. Mie Okete, NT News.
The story coming from the Senate is cheering, especially for electricity consumers, as the legislators have passed the Electricity Bill 2022, which among other issues seeks to ensure cost-reflective tariffs and empower states to generate electricity. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports that the new legislation is also aimed at providing a comprehensive legal and institutional framework for the post-privatization phase of the power sector in Nigeria.
The Electricity Bill 2022 is basically to enact a comprehensive electricity law that will improve generation, utilization, and strengthen the Nigerian electricity supply industry, address technological limitations, and establish the National Power Policy Coordinating Council.
With a view to achieving a national electricity access target and attaining the highest per capita power consumption in Africa within a reasonable time frame.
Today, you know how much they charge per unit? The common man, there are places in Nigeria today in the last 6 months, 8 months, they have not seen a brick of their globe.
This is critical because the whole world is moving towards clean energy, green economy.
We believe that this piece of legislation can change the fortunes of electricity industry in Nigeria.
Senate also passed the Information and Communication Technology Cybersecurity Nigerian Startup Bill and the National Social Security Commission Establishment Bill, while the Federal Nephrology and Kidney Research and Treatment Center Hadeja Jigawa State Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Ibrahim Hadeja, passed second reading.
The Social Security Commission under this bill shall provide indigent Nigerian citizens with comprehensive, preventive, and/or curative Medicare from sickness resulting from any morbid condition.
Nigeria has one of the worst variables in availability and affordability of dialysis and advanced CKD treatment availability in the world.
Senator Issa Jibrin drew the attention of the Senate to what he described as the urgent need to complete the Junior Girls Model Secondary School, Odu Obiegede, in the Kina local government area of Kogi State.
I'm convinced that the completion of the school project and take-off of academic activities will boost the chances of a girl child in accessing education in the Kina local government area of Kogi State and the environment.
Senator Albert Basi Aban defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the Young Progressives Party, YPP. APC now has 64 senators, PDP 37, NNPP 4, APGA 1, YPP 2, and Labour Party 1. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Now, how do you channel complaints as a bank customer in respect of failed or delayed electronic funds transfer? The House of Representatives want the Central Bank of Nigeria to come up with a procedure to channel such complaints. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Representative Mohammed Shamsuddin raised the matter at plenary, describing it as one of the most frustrating experiences of bank customers in Nigeria.
Customers of financial institutions across the country have inadequate means of filing complaints and getting immediate resolutions over failed e-fund transactions that occur on weekends and public holidays.
The House urged the Apex Bank to apply sanctions on erring financial institutions in line with regulations. House members urged authorities to assist victims of flood in parts of Yobe and Bauchi states as moved by Khadija Bukari and Mansour Suru.
The flooding has caused several people to become displaced and homeless, lacking in shelter and other basic human needs. Some of the displaced persons are temporarily residing in public buildings such as schools and mosques, which in itself poses health and safety issues.
Devastating flood disaster that occurred in Darozo town, which destroyed more than 200 houses, sources of livelihoods and farmlands.
The motion from Shaulu Kwewum calling on security agencies to stop attacks on communities in Taraba State was adopted.
In the last week from 5th to 12th of July, well over 30 people have been killed.
A bill to establish National Inspector General for Tax Crime Commission from Benjamin Kalu and the bill seeking the establishment of Federal Medical Center ISA in Sokoto State, sponsored by Mohammed Belgaja, were among the 5 that passed second reading. 11 bills passed first reading, while reports on 6 bills, including the bill seeking free Medicare for all children in Nigeria, were considered and approved as the Committee of the Whole. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And to education matters now, the presidency says the outcome of the meeting held by President Muhammadu Buhari with relevant ministries, departments and agencies to end strike by university unions ought to be beyond spin doctoring and conjectures. In a statement, the presidency explains that no ultimatum was given to the Minister of Education, neither during nor after the meeting. Rather, the Minister of Education during the meeting requested that the Minister of Labour hands off the negotiation to allow him lead and conclude what he had earlier started with the Academic Staff Union of the Universities, ASUU, which he promised that he could get an agreement within the shortest possible time. The presidency states that in for dialogue. The federal government has formally reacted to the planned nationwide protest by the Nigerian Labour Congress in solidarity with the trade unions in Nigerian public universities, describing it as not only uncalled for but also unlawful. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, stated this while briefing journalists on the matter in Abuja. State House correspondent Adam Osambu reports.
The Nigerian Labour Congress, the minister emphasized, is not a political party and therefore must be insulated from politics. He said although the Congress has the right to go on strike or embark on street protest if the rights of its members are violated, what the Labour leaders are planning to do in the coming days in solidarity with ASUU is all about interest.
Yes, there's dispute between some members of the NLC, ASUU, whatever, and the federal government, which is being looked into. And NLC itself is even party to the committee that is looking into this solution. So calling out people on street protest, you begin to wonder what is the motive of NLC in this matter. It's clearly unlawful.
Calling for the interrogation of what the Labour leaders are doing, Alhaji Lai Mohammed maintains that there is no dispute whatsoever between the NLC as a body and the federal government.
The federal government is as worried as NLC and everybody. But the law is the law. What I expect NLC to do as umbrella body is to find solution. They are part of the tripartite agreement that have been negotiating to the federal government on this ASUU issue. So why are they now going out to take sides? What you are going to create is more anarchy. And I think the NLC should think twice.
It is a very incongruous situation, I must tell you. Why? NLC is on the table of the discussion. So I will be surprised if he's going ahead with his neck to do a demonstration, knowing fully well that is not permissible in international labor balance. When interest supersedes the correct reasoning, you get this kind of situation. However, I've called the attention of NLC to that, and I hope that good sense will prevail.
The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, also reacted to similar plans by the labor unions in the aviation sector to shut down the Nigerian airports in solidarity with a strike by ASUU.
We should begin to look at civil aviation as a critical national security enterprise. It has all the implications. We should not contemplate or think about an aviation disaster. We should also think about the general activity of the economy of Nigeria without civil aviation. It is okay. This is democracy. You can press for demand, but in pressing for demands, you should be reasonable in doing so.
Civil aviation workers, the minister said, should not be part of the planned protest in view of the huge responsibilities they have on safety of lives and national security. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Thank you, Adam. Qualitative education, good character and morals have been identified as key to building a generation that can take the country to the next level of desired development. The founder of Thomas Adelmi International College, OKO, Johnson Adelmi, made this known to the graduating class of 2022. Alajide Bello reports that the class of 2022 was the 20th set of the college.
The procession of the class of 2022 in company of the founders signaled the graduation ceremony after achieving an acceptable standard in every aspect of college life, preparing the minds of these trailblazers for how to harness the vast potentials embedded in the country. Speakers, one after the other, gave some tips.
Education and the acquisition of knowledge are still the keys to real and lasting freedom.
Education is to help us develop to be part of the solution.
They must establish a goal and then work towards achieving that goal.
For the dedicated founders of the Citadel of Learning, sustaining and even setting records in academic excellence, it has been the making of good, dedicated staff and determined, hard-working students.
And the reason why we are having success from year to year is that we do not depart from our values. Our values are integrity in our educational system.
For you to succeed in life, you must have character, no matter how intelligent you are. So I want to advise them that they should hold on to their values. Friends will determine whom you turn out to become in life.
For the graduating students, the college availed them the opportunity to discover and maximize their potentials.
I had to make a lot of sacrifice, reading, taking my time to go through my work.
Proud and elated parents described Thomas Adelmi International College as a pace setter in qualitative education and morals.
When I just got to that gate, I had the peace. And my son that we brought, he said, "Mommy, this is the school."
Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Let's take a breather at this point. When News Extra returns, we shall bring you up to speed with the progress of work on the second larger bridge from both the Onitsha and Asaba axis, plus a peep at how things are faring at the Boro Inland Port in Niger State. Do stay for these and more.
Guy, make I run use your phone, Jare. Guy, when you do your flow line now? Baba, calm down now. How be this NIN wahala dey give me stress? They don't block my life.
But na do NIN league see the pass now.
Eh?
Yes. Simple. Just dial star 109 hash. Tell where to do. See. Take. Give my phone.
What if I don't get NIN before?
Simple. Just go any glow word now. Once you get your NIN. Yes.
Plenty guys wey don link their NIN until now their phone still dey block.
Tell them when they go any glow word now. Once they go block their line.
No wahala, make I use your own phone for that. I go start my own later.
Guy, talk plenty talk. You know, so when I link my line, Glow that me plenty bonus. Yes, now and when you link your own line, Glow will dash you up to 20,000 naira bonus.
20,000?
Yes, so 20,000 naira bonus.
Renew. Yeah, I don't link my NIN.
This bonus now for both new and existing customers. So
we are the dynamic global energy company of choice, steering the course of Nigeria's biggest export industry. With years of commitment, delivering greater value and improving lives, NNPC is transformed to better meet your everyday energy needs and retain the position as the largest contributor to the Nigerian economy, generating clean, sustainable energy with integrity, excellence, and creating value for all stakeholders. We are NNPC Water.
Energy for tomorrow. Energy for tomorrow. Come on, let's go.
I dey look for pension fund administrator. Wisdom makes sense. Wake up for me. Shine. No be the time when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. No. Bank with your them no go stress you. Call them then they accessible. Customer care where they on point. No go regret when you try of course. Promisable investment. Everything just a blend. Make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow. Use SmartCash, the secure way to send and receive money, pay bills, and buy airtime and data. Dial star 939 hash from any network to get started.
I beg, I want to put SmartCash wallet.
That's smart. SmartCash Payment Service Bank. Money Matana sense.
You are a contributor to obstruction of retroactive flow. How? If you don't maintain lane discipline and keep open from one lane to another, you are also a disaster in waiting. If you don't use and assign motor parks before your passengers disembark from vehicles, anything can happen to you, your passenger, or your vehicle. Unfortunately, you do not know because it has not happened yet. I entreat all drivers to observe all traffic laws and regulations.
Right back home, Niger, 60 years of comfort. Quality is vital, it's vital. Quality is vital, vital home for sure. It's vital, it's vital. Thank you for the joy, memories of home.
Vitafoam is proudly Nigerian and constantly support Nigerians with consistent quality products for comfort and well-being. With Vitafoam, you don't just sleep, we give you the comfort that gets you recharged. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Dr. Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed invites all heads of federal government ministries, departments and agencies, media practitioners and other relevant stakeholders to a consultative forum on the 2023-2025 medium-term fiscal framework, date Thursday, 21st July 2022, time 10 a.m. Prompt. Venue, Main Auditorium, Federal Ministry of Finance. Meeting ID 824-303-02483. Passcode FNFANP. Ben Akabueze, Director General, Announcer.
Here is a very tough guy who knocks out every opponent, but now he's been knocked down by malaria.
Amatem soft gel.
Amatem soft gel makes treating malaria easy. Amatem soft gel is a game changer.
Amatem Plus soft gel are good to combat malaria for body.
Available for adults and children. Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
Great to have you back on News Extra. Nigeria's non-oil sector, a part of the economy that is not totally harnessed, despite its huge potential, is receiving more attention, with Zenith Bank taking a lead in enlightenment. John Adams was at the bank's 7th annual Trade and Non-Oil Export Seminar with the theme Unlocking Opportunities in Nigeria's Non-Oil Export Sector, and now reports.
These key players from the financial, non-oil and export sectors are here again for the 7th time in 7 years. They are coming from different walks of life, but with the same mission, redirecting Nigeria's fortune from the oil to non-oil sector. The captain of this revolutionary ship is Zenith Bank.
We want to deep dive into other areas, other sectors of the economy other than oil.
And in terms of the opportunities in the non-oil export, is expansive. There is also inclusiveness. Inclusiveness in the sense that in various parts of the country today, you can find 1 or 2 items that are exportable. No aspect, no region of the country is left out.
Obviously, the Zenith Bank Annual International Trade and Non-Oil Export Seminar is gradually yielding positive results, with indicators showing growth in Nigeria's non-oil exports from 6% in 2018 to 12% in 2021.
We have heralded various initiatives and interventions, incentivized the non-oil export sector because of our firm belief that the non-oil sector holds enormous potentials to contribute to employment generation, wealth creation, and economic growth of our country.
Development of this sector presents a great opportunity for diversifying the earnings. Achieving 5% of share of GDP could generate $20 billion of exports.
The program featured discussants who all agree that unlocking the immense opportunities in the non-oil sector will further grow the nation's GDP. In Lagos, Hengino John Adams, NTA News.
The Central Bank of Nigeria disbursed more than 50 billion naira to drive 100 for 100 export initiative as investors loses 5.97 billion naira in the capital markets. And Musa Abubakar is with the details on Business News. Musa.
Thank you, Fatima. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says it has so far disbursed more than 50 billion naira for its 100 for 100 policy on production and productivity. The Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele said the Apex Bank is making progress with the initiative to drive the support for producers of goods that can be exported to earn the needed foreign exchange for the country.
Indeed, we are delighted that the raise to $200 billion is yielding good results. They are actually 200. Because the data that we have so far, and I read it in the communique, we found out that we received inflows as of June this year of almost over $2.9 billion. And we all know that in the first quarter, we when we started, we disbursed 3.6 billion naira as rebates for those who have conducted export activities. For quarter 2, we have this morning just approved the release and payment of rebates to those who conducted export activities to the tune of 20 billion naira for quarter 2.
The 100 for 100 RT 200 FX are interventions designed by the central bank to boost Nigeria's export and foreign exchange earnings. As part of a broader commitment to the Open Government Partnership, OGP, the federal government is embarking on a sensitization campaign to raise awareness, clarify the objective, and celebrate the milestones of the OGP in Nigeria. The campaign, which is being coordinated by the OGP National Secretariat, is in phases, starting with the MDAs.
Today's session is designed to build knowledge base for you to understand the OGP in the public sector, and your station will help us push this campaign to Nigerians and for us to sustain the results that are being put in place.
By the time we're going to display the action plan, you know that there are specific roles that MDAs will play. Information have their own specific role, different ministries have their own role to play. So you know from the ministry you are coming, your own sector, you see the role they're going to play and how they're going to play it.
Now to the capital market. The equities market in Nigeria closed Wednesday on a negative note. The all-share index depreciated by 0.23% to 52,186.52 basis point. 238.2 million shares exchanged hands by investors in 3,814 deals, valued at 3.3 billion naira. Market capitalization dropped to 28.14 trillion naira. Living Trust, Nigerian breweries, and UBA led market activities in terms of volume. That's business news. Fatima, it's back to you.
It's back to me. Thank you, Musa, for that. Now, until the unveiling of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation was government-owned, a parastatal in the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. In the new dispensation, it is an independent entity expected to consolidate on the assets and foundation of the old organization. Lydia Sampson, in the first of series of reports, takes us through the various transformational phases of this critical organization described by many as the nation's cash cow.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) was established on the 1st of April 1977, a merger of the Nigerian National Oil Corporation and the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Energy Resources. By law, it manages the joint ventures between the federal government and a number of foreign multinational corporations, some of which includes the Royal Dutch Shell, Ajip, ExxonMobil, and Total Energies. Through collaboration with these companies, the Nigerian government conducts petroleum exploration and production with its headquarters at the NNPC Towers in Abuja. The NNPC also has zonal offices in Lagos, Kaduna, Port Harcourt, and Warri. The NNPC has 4 refineries, 2 in Port Harcourt and 1 each in Kaduna and Warri, with a combined installed capacity of 445,000 barrels per day. In addition to this, is a comprehensive network of pipelines and depots strategically located across Nigeria linking these refineries. Ironically, the refineries have not been operating maximally despite intermittent attempts at overhaul. The corporation has an international office located in London, United Kingdom. NNPC also has several subsidiaries, 2 partly owned subsidiaries and 16 associated companies. Irrespective of these seemingly huge infrastructure and assets, reports show the corporation is not attracting the needed investment to harness its potentials.
We now have a smarter, more responsive, and much more accountable company that must act within the premises of all the regulations that are in the country for private companies, and more than any need, it must also meet the standards of best practice in every industry in terms of governance, in terms of making sure that all regulations are complied with, And beyond this, eyes on the ball, that your shareholders are expecting you to deliver value to them.
With other private entities like the Dangote refineries as well as the new independent posture of the NNPC Limited, key players believe the narrative will turn around for good. Following the passage of the PIA in August 2021 by President Muhammadu Buhari, announcing that the NNPC Limited will now operate as a commercial entity without relying on government funding and direct controls, NNPC Limited was established as a limited liability company, optimistic that the private entity will find it easier to access international capital markets. However, the company will continue to bear the traditional responsibility, amongst others, of distributing and selling fuel in Nigeria, while the state will now assume the responsibility of subsidizing the cost of fuel in the country. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, MTA News.
Let's head to Maiduguri now, where towards enhancing healthcare and other services on the post-insurgency recovery phase, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development through the Northeast Development Commission and EDC has donated medical equipment and other logistics worth millions of naira to 3 health institutions in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. The gesture, which also includes a befitting edifice and funds to the University of Maiduguri, according to the Ministry and the Commission, is part of its core mandate of bringing development to the region. Jetluwa Jasini reports.
The Northeast Development Commission, with support of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, has continued to raise the bar of ameliorating suffering of victims of the 12-year insurgency through execution of laudable projects and provision of relief materials, among other interventions. This time around, the NEDC donated state-of-the-art medical equipment and other logistics to 7 Division Military Hospital, Malaria, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, and the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital to cater for the health needs of the affected population. Leadership of benefiting health institutions expressed optimism that the donation would no doubt enhance their services.
It has never been this good, and we can assure you that we're going to put everything possible to ensure that these sales are maintained and utilized for the purpose they are meant for.
Management of the NEDC were also at the Maiduguri flour mills, where the commission restated commitments to engage the services of the mill to enhance production and consumption of local foods. Chief of Staff to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, on behalf of the state government, expressed gratitude to the ministry and the commission for prioritizing the development of the state and region as a whole. The University of Maiduguri is also a recipient of the NEDC's magnanimity, as the commission established a center for the study of violent extremism and donated a check of 48.3 million naira to support cancer research in the institution.
What we do, we can provide other soft assistance for them to do their job.
Anybody who sees this will have every reason to continue to commit to funding and supporting these projects, because they are yielding, they are showing results, and they are making impact already on the people.
Chairman Senate Committee on NEDC Senator Yusuf, and Deputy Chairman House Committee on NEDC Moshood Akiolu, among others, also witnessed the presentation. In Maiduguri, Jodua Jessini, NTA News.
Time for another break. We'll be right back.
Flood is a nature-induced disaster exacerbated by human activity that has affected thousands of people over the years, with many lives lost and properties destroyed. Seasonal forecast has revealed the possible flooding in some states as a result of torrential rainfall. To mitigate and avert the impact of the flood, do not build houses along waterways. Provide proper drainage. Evacuate from flood-prone areas immediately to safer ground. Stop blocking waterways and channels. Adhere to early warning alerts. Always listen to weather forecasts. Take warnings from relevant authorities seriously. Disaster management is everybody's business. This message is from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. NEMA, for the sake of the distressed.
Times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 naira bonus for voice and data.
first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets. With Panadol's Optizol formula, the tablet absorbs quickly and starts providing fast and effective pain relief you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. Every morning is one day closer to your mission. So, make every morning count. Morning after morning. Start strong. Finish strong. Nescafe.
Glovo is the app that brings you anything you want. Like a better crispy chicken and chilling after work. Or what you need from the supermarket, sharp. Even some diapers to escape real wahala. Download the app, order a Glovo, and we get it.
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Millions of Nigerians have received COVID-19 vaccine. I have taken my own. What about you? We have taken our own. What about you? I am strong and healthy. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? We are strong and healthy. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Go and get your jab. The hospitals, churches, and the mosques. Go and get your jab. Health centers, hurry up now. Don't be late. Go and get your jab. Bye Corona. Bye Corona. This message is brought to you by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA.
Times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 Naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 Naira bonus for voice and data.
We are the dynamic global energy company of choice, steering the course of Nigeria's biggest export industry. With years of commitment, delivering greater value and improving lives. NNPC will transform to better meet your everyday energy needs and retain the position as the largest contributor to the Nigerian economy, generating clean, sustainable energy with integrity, excellence, and creating value for all stakeholders. We are NNPC West.
Energy for tomorrow. Energy for tomorrow. Come on, let's go.
It's your turn to make a difference. Are you an entrepreneur, developer, designer, problem solver, or a coding expert? Are you looking to create new digital economic solutions? Then let's design the future at the eNaira Hackathon. Theme: Africa's Gateway to a Digital Economy. Register at www.affcbnhack.com. Application closes July 21st, 2022. Terms and conditions apply. eNaira Hackathon is powered by the Central Bank of Nigeria and Africa Fintech Foundry, AFF.
Wake up the champion in your child. Give them energy to go further. Milo Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa helps wake up the champion in your child. Milo.
Thanks for staying, and we begin with security issues now. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the mother of a Catholic priest, Reverend Father John Cheiknum of the Kafanchan Catholic Diocese, 4 days after he was kidnapped by gunmen. In a statement, President Muhammadu Buhari says he is deeply disturbed by the murder of this revered religious figure by outlaws who seem to be bent on creating chaos and disorder in the country. The president explains that the persistent attack on innocent people and religious figures by gunmen is of concern for his administration because security is one of the major campaign promises. He says he will not allow the security chiefs to rest unless effective effective solution is preferred to the disturbing security situation, and extended his condolences to the family of the deceased and Christian Association of Nigeria leadership in Kaduna State. The security challenges of the country now calls for all hands to be on deck. That is why the Chief of the Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, is calling on the Federal Road Safety Corps to strengthen its intelligence gathering and information sharing with other security agencies to tackle security challenges. This was at a strategy session with the High Command of the Corps. Oyeme Ajayi reports.
Insecurity across the country continues to generate concern, with criminal gangs becoming more sophisticated. Among the other strategies, the roads have become their escape routes after carrying out their nefarious activities.
Though the Corps has suffered serious security challenges over the years, manifestly in innocent assault on staff, mainly kidnapping and outright killing of personnel, as well as arson on its property arising from the discharge of their duties, the Corps remains committed to continue to search for solutions to all issues plaguing road safety management in Nigeria.
To curb these unwholesome acts, the Chief of Defense Staff wants all Nigerians to get involved, particularly the Road Safety Management Agency, through information sharing with other security agencies as a way of monitoring the activities of these criminals.
Not for you to be the first to be those that will have to report it. So, but in terms of gathering potent intelligence, which of course will be transmitted to those who need it. And so when I refer to you sharing intelligence, you being able to use all the available communication platforms, it's one honest.
There was a recommendation of arrest of imported vehicles retaining foreign numbers while plying the roads, as criminals use them for escape purposes. In Abuja, Oyeme Ajayi, NTA News.
When last did you buy a tire for your vehicle? Hope it was brand new, because the use of expired, worn out or substandard car tires and poor maintenance is reason for the high rate of accidents on the highways. The question is, how many motorists actually know the quality of tire they purchase for their cars? Chidibere Onya reports on some basic tire safety measures often neglected by some motorists.
Car tires are very important to the life of a motorist because, among other devices in a vehicle, tires are the only link between the vehicle and the road. Sadly, the issue of tire explosions and other avoidable accidents has been a recurring problem on the roads. Most car users in Nigeria have very little knowledge that expired tires are very likely to explode. Others who understand that aging is a factor in tire explosion still appear surprised when it occurs after using a new tire.
There is a thriving second-hand tire market in Nigeria, and most time when these people buy these tires, they don't even know the state of these tires when you buy them. And most especially because of the kind of tires we bring in, the roads too are not good to the second-hand tires.
Despite government's efforts to curb the smuggling of used and substandard tires in the country, the problem remains unabated.
We need to save our lives. We need to tighten our borders to avoid smuggling, and we need to involve ourselves in this.
And when you buy tire, check the date. And normally what you see is like 4 digits, very close to the DOT. The first 2 digits is showing the week of the year when the tire is manufactured. For example, you can see 2022. That means it's showing you that in week 20 of the year 2022 was when that tire was produced. So you add 6 years to it, then you know when that tire will expire.
Now that you know that tires have a specific shelf life, motorists are advised to be wary of purchasing fake and substandard tires to forestall carnage on the road. In Port Harcourt, Chidiebere Onya, NTA News.
Quite educating there, Chidibere, thank you. These days, it looks like everything is under threat. If you're not conscious of this, then you are on your own, as they say. For us in the NTA, the Nigeria Data Protection Bureau is tutoring staff on how to safeguard individual and corporate data in line with global best practices as we collate and disseminate information to the public. Chindema Ndibisi will tell us all about it.
There are increasing reports of data breach, both online and offline, where personal data meant to be protected by agencies or organizations that have access to them find their way in public domain. But the agency, the Nigeria Data Protection Bureau, established in February 2022, has the mandate to ensure that such does not happen. So, it is out to train staff of such organizations on how to respect individual rights and safeguard their data within the ambit of local and global laws. The Nigerian Television Authority, as a major data controller with an online presence, is the first port of call.
To ensure that those staff who are here, who are in charge of data processing, are really up to date, they are of their competence in sharing data in their custody. In Nigeria, we have this unfortunate attitude of not keeping good records. Going forward, we will be able to know and to understand what we ought to have preserved and how we are going to preserve them adequately.
Correspondent Musa Aliyu comes across volumes of individual, corporate and government data. He is also an internet user. Musa says the training is an eye-opener.
Understanding the legal implication of disseminating information of people without their consent, that is a crime now. We understand that.
Most data are often given to us in confidence, so we need to know how to protect them, how to give people access to our data, and then imply the basic fundamental journalistic ethics to our job.
The next line of action expected of the NTA is to appoint a data protection officer who will see to the compliance with provisions of Nigeria data protection regulations. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndibisi, NTA News.
Malaria and genotype. Is there a link like some people have claimed? Don't miss out on the facts in the next segment of News Extra. See you in just a moment.
It's Dangote Bag of Goodies Season 3. Yes, spell Dangote and become a multi-millionaire. Category 1. Pick up the scratch card in bags of Dangote cement and win instantly. Category 2. Pick up the scratch cards in bags of Dangote cement to spell DANGOTE and qualify to win a $1 million star prize. Category 3. Pick up the scratch cards in bags of Dangote cement to spell DANGOTE and qualify to win $5 million mega star prize. When you pick an alphabet with an eagle, one of the alphabets must carry the Dangote Eagle logo for you to win the mega star prize. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you. Hi there. Hello. You can price shop, but you're always saving on everything except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain. How? On this cleaning product. Impossible. You need the new Harpic toilet cleaner. With just 130 naira sachet of Harpic toilet cleaner, you save more. Apex Stick formula stays longer, so it cleans 10 times better. Wow, Helen! And it's safe because it's only 30 naira, giving you a sparkling clean toilet and great savings too.
Now what's happening? You know, chop. I no dey feel well at all. I just think malaria dey worry me. And I don't tell Taylor me meet me for here. You supposed to go hospital make you go do test now. You waste that time, Jerry. I'm fit. I beg no vex, so I don't waste your time. You go stand up, make I take your measurement. Measurement? If you just look the person, you go sew the cloth where you go fit am well. Now what they do that kind one? Now people where you don't conclude say they get malaria where they never do test. I don't hear. Sense, mama. I receive sense, so I go do am correct now. Hey, come measure me. Make I quick go do my malaria test.
Fever na sign of plenty different diseases dem, plus including malaria. When you quick do test and na malaria, dem go give you correct medicine. Stop dey waste your money on top wetin no dey worry you, and make you finish all the medicine wey dem give you patapata. Na Federal Ministry of Health and American people dem bring una this message.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. Every morning is one day closer to your mission. So, make every morning count. Morning after morning. Start strong. Finish strong. Nescafe.
How did I get here? It all started shortly after I graduated from MSTC, the Model Skills Training Center, with a certificate in ICT. I successfully developed a data management program that has been called the software of the future. Thanks to its success, everyone wants it, and as you can see, now everyone wants me. But I'm not alone. The skills training programs at MSTC are equipping young Nigerians to become the next big success story. Whether it's ICT, mechatronics, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, or culinary studies, a certificate at MSTC is the way of the future. And just like me, there he is. Everyone will want you to.
Developing the nation's human resource.
The family of late Da Chung Jugu of Hepang Bariki-Ladi local government area of Plateau State announces the transition to glory of its matriarch, Rodelo Birom Dr. Ngo Neomivo Jugu. It occurred on the 28th of June 2022 following a brief illness at the age of 82 years. Rodelo Birom Dr. Ngo Neomi Jugu was Special Advisor Emeritus to APC and First Deputy Commandant of the NSCDC Plateau State, pioneer President Birom Women Association, as well as member of other women and political groups. Ngo is survived by 6 children, 16 grandchildren, 7 great-grandchildren, nephews, nieces, and many relations. Funeral now holds on Friday 22nd July 2022. Service of songs Thursday 21st July 2022 at the Equa Unity Church, Favre Junction, Rayfield, Jos. Friday 22nd July, corpse is conveyed from the Air Force Hospital Morgue, Jos, to Equa Unity Church, Rayfield, for funeral service. Body will be interned at the family residence, Rayfield, Jos, Plateau State. Rest on Belo Birom, Dr. Ngo Neomi Vo Jugu. We will surely miss you. Gabriel Chung Jugu for the family.
This is News Extra. I welcome you back. Malaria is endemic in Africa and affects people of all ages, especially children under 5 and pregnant women. How true is the assumption in some quarters that genotype determines a person's susceptibility to malaria? Uche Ugochukwu seeks answers to this in our next report.
Neither the appearance, the sound, nor what it leaves on its trail after it bites on humans has any goodness. The most dreaded in this case is the species that transmits malaria, the Anopheles mosquito. Over the years, it has heralded bouts of fever suffered in humans of all ages, that's deadliest in children under 5 and pregnant women. There is the science and myth to mosquito and the plasmodium it carries. Many believe some people with certain genotype like the AA are more prone to the deadly malaria.
I'm not a witness for that. I am AA. I don't fall sick of malaria problems easily.
I do get malaria monthly.
It's malaria like once in 2 months.
The varied responses perhaps mirror man's relationship with the insect, especially in the tropics. But science has this to say.
Irrespective of the genotype, once you are exposed or bitten by the infected mosquito, the person will eventually come down with malaria. What we are talking here now is the severity.
If you are looking at AA, people who don't have anything about sickle cell in their blood, they will develop malaria more than people who have sickle cell traits. That's the people who, let me say, they are mixed. They are not pure SS and they are not pure AA. But they will have less of the malaria and diseases than people who are SS. So AA people are in the middle of sickle cell people who are SS. And on the other side of them, you have people who are what? AS. So people who have AS, because I've tried to explain that their body resists malaria naturally, all right, more than AA. And people who have AA, it is not that because it has infected the sickle cell patient and your own, it is that their body cannot resist it up to AA. So AA people have less than SS people, do you understand? But they have more than people who have sickle cell traits.
Nevertheless, there are several measures to keep malaria at bay. Use of insecticide-treated mosquito nets, periodic preventive medicines, also known as prophylaxis, as well as clean environment, experts say, will go a long way in reducing incidences of malaria and its attendant fatalities. I am Uche Obochukwu, NTA News.
Thank you, Uche. You've said it all. Now, Minister of Environment Mohammed Abdullahi at the Congress of the International Union for Conservation of Nature in Rwanda is making a case for measurable, elaborate and severing action to meet the 25% nature conservation target for Africa. Onengi Francis reports.
I think we need a very strong
Minister of Environment Mohammed Abdullahi advocates the prioritizing of nature conservation in the national development plans of African nations in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. This, he says, is needed for the expansion and preservation of protected areas to combat climate change, reduce losses in biodiversity and build the resilience of people whose livelihoods depend on natural ecosystems.
We need a broad stakeholder engagement from the community to the youth to the elders and in fact to law enforcement so that we can begin to look at nature conservation as a moral obligation for each citizen of the country.
The conference is also seeking an end to the dependence on foreign donors, encouraging African leaders to look inwards for the funding of protected areas and biodiversity conservation.
The protected areas we are talking about, these are actually being designed before by the colonialists before they left. Maybe we haven't done enough. We haven't grown the space. We need to grow the space, but our people must be in the center of this space.
And if we do not protect 30% of our landmass at this time, I think we will be ending up in a catastrophe very soon.
Stakeholders believe that protected areas, if expanded and conserved, can provide millions of green jobs for the continent. Onengie Fine Face, NTA News.
We're down to our last segment, so another break beckons, after which we'll bring you trending stories around sports.
Man has always wanted a unique, rich herbal extract made for the capable man. And when found, one wonders what makes it special. First, take a look at the cap, then the bottle. Glamorously endowed with a new label in an elegant shape, it stands out as the bitters with class. And because you love to share with friends, so you ask for a bottle of Confirmitas. That is why they call it Mr. Capable Confirmitas. Now in a bold new look of 75 cl and 37.5 cl bottles for your enjoyment. The taste remains the same. Mr. Capable Confirmitas. Truly herbal.
Music is fuel that fires up our soul. Today, African music has a dominant place on the world map. This massive music movement creating waves across the globe.
I have seen the evolution and the growth of this industry.
But every movement starts with a story, and the best place to start any story is at the very beginning.
There's a harmonious energy that can only have come from Africa.
Have your PVC ready. Conduct yourselves orderly. Join the queue. Cast your vote secretly. Thumbprint correctly. Do not waste your vote. Do not sell your vote. Secure your future. If you sell your vote, you have sold good roads, electricity, water, education, good health care, etc. Be part of nation building. Cast your vote for honest candidates. Shun electoral violence. You could lose your life for nothing, for nothing, for nothing. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Next, a sports update with Kene Ima Abudiki.
After arriving Casablanca on Tuesday ahead of their third-place match against Zambia on Friday, Super Falcons of Nigeria allegedly refused to engage in training sessions due to accumulated match bonuses. Report says the players are yet to receive any payment from the officials since the 2022 Africa Women's Cup of Nations kicked off on the 2nd of July. However, Sports Ministry says there is no cause for alarm.
The NFF have made a presentation of the financial requirements to the ministry. They did that a few weeks ago. The ministry has forwarded to the appropriate quarters, and approval has been gotten. But then the way funding from government works is that there are processes. Even after approval, there are still some processes that needs to be followed before the cash backing happens. So the issues have been addressed. So we hope that they will be able to go on to play their game, the third place game. We commend them for all that they've done so far, but they need to understand that this is how these issues work.
2021-2022 Nigeria Women Football League Premiership winners Bayelsa Queens have been drawn to play Ghana's Ampem Dakoa, USFA of Burkina Faso, and Athleta FC of Togo in Group B of the WAFU B Zonal qualifiers for 2022 CAF Women's Champions League. The draw, which took place Wednesday in Egypt, has host AS de Abidjan, AS Police of Niger Republic, and Espoir FC of Benin Republic in Group A. Hostilities are scheduled for September. Meanwhile, it has been an exodus of Nigerian sprinters in various events at the World Athletics Championships in Oregon as Rosemary Chukwuma finished 7th to drop out of women's 200 meters in semi-final heat 1, while Grace Nkwocha exited at 5th position in women's 200 meters semi-final heat 2. Favor Ofili finished in 3rd place to exit the women's 200 meters in semi-final heat 3, and Udodi Onwuzurike dropped out of the men's 200 meters in semi-final heat 2 after finishing 6th. That's Sports Update. I am Kene Ima Abudike, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has given approval for the intervention fund requested by the Ministry of Youth and Sports for the Super Falcons. Special Assistant on Media and Multimedia to the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Tony Obituary, and a statement says the Ministry of Finance is working on processing and releasing the funds, adding that the money issues are being sorted. Now let's take weather reports for tomorrow, Thursday.
You're welcome.
Thursday will start off with some cloudy conditions with few rains expected to most parts of the eastern flank of the country, particularly parts of Niger, the FCT Plateau, including Benue and Nasarawa State. While we expect some heavy thundery rains to parts of Sokoto, Kebbi, Adamawa, Taraba, including Bauchi and parts of Gombe State. Moving into afternoon, we anticipate some patchy rains to the southern cities. We still expect some parts of the central and the northern region to be active in thunderstorms. And that's it from here. Up next is the forecast across some selected cities. I am Akani Samarda.
And weather report concludes News Extra for tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of it. But before I go, don't forget to connect with the NTA and stand against rape and rapists. I am Fatima Umar Buba. Enjoy the rest of your night.